When is anyone ever going to be growing purple out of their own heads? And this one is more blue. So you can see the difference here. Dazzling Wavez also comes in two other sort of pink colors. I do think Rene of Paris did a great job on this style. Are you someone who would try these colors at all? Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and today I'm going to be giving you guys a quick review on this fun style on my head called Dazzling Wavez. Not only do I have it in this super cool color, I have it in 3 other colors to show you. So 4 colors all together, and they're all pretty fun colors. So if you are looking to try something new and exciting, you might enjoy this. Before I jump into it all, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. So today's video is devoted all to Dazzling Wavez by Rene of Paris. So Dazzling Wavez is a new-ish style. It came out in 2025. I think it was in the winter time at some point. Anyways, I'm here to show it to you today in 4 colors. Now, Dazzling Wavez is a style that's available in 11 different colors. However, with the 11 colors, about, I would say 5 of them are very much like a fashion color, similar to what you see here on the color I'm calling called Lunar Haze. So when I say a fashion color, I mean something like a little bit out there, something that's not necessarily natural, because when is anyone ever going to be growing purple out of their own heads, right? Like, that's not going to happen. So out of the 4 I'm showing you today, 3 out of 4 of them are very much fashion colors. So like I mentioned, this is called Lunar Haze. Lunar Haze is described as a soft periwinkle colors. So think like violet blue family. That's what we see here. It's a very soft, I would say it leans more violet and purpley than it does blue though. Now, if you look at this color really quickly, you might think, oh, it's kind of gray. And you know what? You're not wrong. It definitely does lean into the gray family if you look at it quickly. Now, because you're probably looking at the screen being like, yeah, it actually kind of is gray. What I wanted to do is show you an actual gray color so you can see how when I hold up the gray, this is suddenly gonna turn purple. So I have here the color called Silverstone by Rene of Paris. This is a gray color. We do have a little bit of brown in this, but this is a gray color next to Lunar Haze. And suddenly it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's kind of purple. So yes, it leans gray, but truly it is a soft violet, like ashy violet color with some off black roots to it. Now, before I jump into all the colors to show you, I wanted to give you a quick rundown of this cap, of this wig in general, so that we can get to know it a little bit more. So Dazzling Wavez is a low density, you guys. There's really not a ton of hair on here. If I pull this back into a little ponytail, gathering the tags with me, you can see I am not gathering very much hair here. So I would very much classify this as a low density style. You're also not gonna find any permatease on this. So I've spoken a lot about permatease on my channel. I do have a couple videos that talk about permatease, the pros and cons of it, what exactly is permatease. In a quick rundown, a permatease is the short hair crimping effect at the root of a synthetic wig. Some synthetic wigs, I should say, not all of them, some. But it's put at the root of a wig to give it volume, to give it shape and structure, and to hide any wefting that you might see through to from outside the wig that you know you don't want to see. Dazzling Wavez here does not have that permatease, so you're not going to get that poofiness that you might find on some other wigs. It's going to lay low profile, close to your head, and it's not going to be too voluminous, which is really great for women who, especially women who are going through hair loss and who are not used to seeing a ton of hair on their head. So Dazzling Wavez is going to be a really nice, I would say, beginner wig for someone who's transitioning into wigs who doesn't want something too much. So low density, no permatease, really lightweight feel. And this is made with heat-friendly synthetic fiber. Let me give you guys a quick spin here. Now, the great thing about heat-friendly synthetic fiber is that it's going to look less shiny than your typical synthetic fiber would, and it's just going to resemble human hair a little bit better. But that being said, the problem with heat-friendly synthetic fiber is that when it rubs on your clothing, on your shoulders. So when it's, you know, at this length pretty much or longer, you are gonna get friction frizz on the ends of your fiber that you will have to maintain with heat. I've done a lot of videos before on how to maintain your heat-friendly synthetic fibers, even how to maintain your wavy heat-friendly synthetic fibers. I did a video on Model Mode by Raquel Welch one time that showed how I maintain the end of that wavy fiber that is heat-friendly synthetic. So go check that out so you can learn how to keep your ends looking fresh. But overall, this is a pretty good length to maintain. It's not too long, so it's not gonna get too tangly. However, I still would suggest throughout the day to carry a wide tooth comb with you. Comb it through to help break up the fibers, because sometimes heat-friendly synthetic fibers can get a little bit clumpy, especially as you continue to wear it throughout the day. So having a wide tooth comb handy throughout the day just helps to break that up a little bit. Dazzling Wavez is going to have a lace front that extends into your ear tabs. They do nice small knotting here. However, with this color, you will find that because it has these really dark roots, having dark roots up at your lace front can be pretty noticeable. So they have taken this color forward, this purpley color forward, and they've done the knotting at the front with that color. Because if I get rid of that and bring that forward, you can see how visible those knots are. So that's why they bring this color forward, so the knots melt into your skin a little bit more and you're hiding the visible knotting. So that's why they do it. However, the downfall of that is that, I talk about this all the time, you get this like banding effect over top, kind of like a rainbow. So some people are okay with that. Some people it bothers. Me, it kind of bothers me sometimes because it looks a little bit unnatural. But at the same time, I do appreciate how we don't see the knotting as much. So it's kind of like, like it's great for the reason that it hides the knots, but not as great because you get that. So you kind of have to do a little bit of give and take here. Dazzling Wavez is going to have a left monofilament part. So that gives you the illusion of scalp where you part your hair. However, it's only going to be parted on the left side. Now, again, just as a note, because we have these dark fibers, the knots are a little bit more visible. There are things you can do to help make those knots a little bit less visible. And again, I have created a video on this as well, where I show how to use scar tape in your part line, where I show how to dab some makeup in your part line as well. So you can go and check that out to help you create a little bit more of a natural part line if it's something that might bother you. Now, in terms of fit, Dazzling Wavez fits very true to average. Most Rene of Paris styles I have found typically fit pretty true to average. So I am 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 inches front to nape, 11.5 inches ear to ear. This moves around easily on me because it is a little big on me. I am a petite size, so most wigs are big on me. However, this isn't huge on me. So it does move around. I would bring the adjusters in, which would help a lot, but I would still have a little bit of bulk in the cap area. So that being said, it's not ideal if you were a petite size, but it is doable. Like I said, I am a petite and I do wear a ton of average wigs just because I like the style and I just make it work. For me, as long as I bring in the adjusters, I know it's going to stay on, but I'll just have a little bit of bagginess in the rest of the cap. I believe this will fit someone who's maybe a little bit bigger than average because we do have quite a stretchy cap. However, if you are a large size, 23 inches and up, I don't think this would fit you. All right, let's take a quick look at what's going on inside the cap, and then I'm gonna show you the other colors I have really quickly. So here's that left monofilament part. It's quite a wide one. It's a little bit wider than other monofilament parts I find, and it goes all the way back to your crown. So it's a nice long part line you'll get with a good amount of space to play around with. You could technically almost get this to a center part if you parted it right next to the seam there. This goes directly into your lace front that extends and melts into your ear tabs. We do have the velvet ear tabs with metal stays in them, and the metal stays help to keep the wig flush against your temples so it's not flopping around everywhere. And then open wefted cap here, nice and stretchy, ventilated and breathable, plus your extended velvet nape and then pull adjusters. So these are like bra strap, like pull adjusters. I personally prefer Velcro adjusters. However, these are fine, they work. But I do find sometimes that over time, if you pull it tight and you wear it throughout the day, sometimes the pulls start sliding and then you're left with it being back to almost where it was. Something you could do though, is you could adjust it to where you want it and then tie a knot within the extra elastic, or what you could do is pull it to where you want it and then like sew the excess down so that it's not gonna budge. So that's gonna help the circumference stay where you want it to. So Lunar Haze, fun color, but let's take a look at the other fun colors I have. So my next sort of fashion color is called Frozen Sapphire. This one is like an icy blue. It's like a very soft, cool, icy blue. There's even like a touch of white throughout this to give it that icy color. But if I come up close here, you can almost see very subtle dimension of a couple different blues in here. And then your roots are like this dark indigo color. I wouldn't say they're black. They are definitely a very dark indigo blue color. So let me put this on so we can see what this looks like. And I'll even show this to you in comparison to Lunar Haze. So you can see that this one is definitely more purple and this one is more blue. So you can see the difference here. So if you are someone who is just looking to add a little bit of extra fun in their life, take a look at these colors by Rene of Paris. And since I have this on for you, I'll just do a little spin so we can see this whole thing in Frozen Sapphire. My next fun color for you is called Icy Petal. This is a newer color that they've introduced this year. And what you're gonna see here is a combination of a soft pastel pink mixed with a really soft white color. It's just like this soft, pure white color. There are no roots on Icy Petal. It's just a nice 50-50 blend of that soft pink and soft white. So let me put this color on now and we'll check it out. All right, let me spin. Now, Dazzling Wavez also comes in two other sort of pink colors. One of them is called Dusty Rose, which is a darker, almost like a coral reddish rosy color that does have some medium brown roots. And the other one is called Pink Champagne, more of like a soft, muted, inky white color. All right, now I do have one more color to show you guys. This one isn't quite as fashion-y as the other three. This one is called Snowy Umber Rooted. This is also one of their newer colors this year. And although this wouldn't necessarily classify as a fashion color, it's definitely a little bit more out there because we do have these really vibrant platinum highlights going throughout this, a little bit more evident than you would see in a more natural color. So let me get this one on. Again, this is Snowy Umber R. And what you're gonna see here is a base of a warm ginger brown here. It's kind of like a medium ginger brown, I would say. And then we have a ton of like icy blonde, almost like a white blonde going throughout this, clearly very evident highlighting. So you're gonna find it to be pretty streaky. So it is a fun color. It's a different color, but it's really lovely. And you will find the white blonde highlights coming forward on that lace front here to soften the look of those knots at the front. But let me give you a spin. I would love to know if you have tried Dazzling Wavez yet and if you love it as much as I do. I do think Rene of Paris did a great job on this style. It is lovely, it is natural, and it's adorable. And I also want to know, are you someone who would try these colors at all? Would you go out of your comfort zone and try the Icy Petal or Lunar Haze or Frozen Sapphire? I want to know. I think out of these three colors, for me, I liked the first one I did, the Lunar Haze, the best. I think this one worked the best for my skin tone. But let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you, and thank you as always for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye everybody.